The City Connect Seattle Mariners are hot, George. They keep on winning 77 and 73 on the year. And yes, we might be 4.5 games out of the division, but the Seattle Mariners have found a way to get within 2.5 games of the wild card. And we start our series against the New York Yankees Tuesday, once again wearing the City Connect jerseys. Ride the hot jersey.
Yeah. Are we 14-1 or 15-1 now in the City Connects?
15-1 now.
Okay. Well,
pretty impressive.
So we're on pace to go like 130 and 32 if we warned them every game, something like that.
Well, it can't be on that pace when the season has 12 games left.
I know, unfortunately.
You're listening to the Sports on Tap Seattle podcast. I'm Sammy, and with me, as always, is my older brother, George.
Your favorite place to be a fan of Seattle sports. Now let's get this party started. It's getting, look, we're doing something we've done multiple times, and that's right at the end of the season, make a run and try to make a playoff push. Hopefully we can get over the hump. I'm going to keep my hopes as up as I can, but I know this team has had a tendency to punch me right back in the face, but that's okay because it gives me hope for next season. I think in the last, I forget how many games, we're first in like batting average or WAR, and we were playing really good baseball. So this new coaching staff has at least been able to bring some good vibes to the team. The team's playing a lot better, and at least it gives me hope going into next year if we do not make the playoffs. Hopefully we do make the playoffs. Obviously, that's what we want. But I'm just saying, if we don't, we have the vibes going into next season.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with baseball sometimes is like momentum into the next season doesn't do for me. Like, right? You know, like it's about like baseball's such a weird sport. Like the Mariners were 10 games above 500 or 10 games above the Astros, in the division, and blew an entire lead, and now we're 4.5 back and not even in the wild card spot. So it's like sometimes baseball, like the momentum only lasts for that time period that you're in, right?
I agree with that.
It doesn't carry over to another season. It's a little different, I guess. My real point here, it's a little different than NBA or NFL. When you say, look at that young team that really, snuck up at the end of last year, they might be great next year. Sometimes it doesn't work that way in baseball. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think good.
The way I'm looking at it's not about momentum. It's just that this coaching staff seems like they've done a good job of changing some stuff, and we're hitting the ball better. It's not the momentum part. It's okay. This new coaching staff. Okay, if we miss the playoffs, but we win 7 games above 500 with them, let's say, with the new coaching staff, or 6 games, 5 games, whatever we do. So okay, at least we know this coaching staff might have been the right move. That's not really momentum, is what I'm saying, but hope that the coaching staff is actually maybe helpful. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think it might be, it might not be. I mean, the hard thing with baseball, one, the roster is not going to be the same next year. 2, I just think that we've had great stretches of baseball when Scott Service was the coach too. And I mean, we made the playoffs and we've won on 14, 15 game winning streaks. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of, I would say it seems like it's the right move that we made now, changing the coaching staff, obviously. But I think at the end of the day, it's not the end all be all of it. I think it's just the way the players perform. Like, I think maybe the Mariners have made the wrong decisions, and you were on this in the offseason. While some people like me or other people were excited about Mitch Garver and Jorge Polanco, you were sitting there saying, great, we've got some more average players that are probably going to be worse with the Mariners. So
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's the thing with the Seattle Mariners is like, if the players aren't right, we don't know what's going to happen next year. We don't know if Randy Rosarina is even going to be on the Mariners or certain other guys.
I really
right?
hope he is, but I don't. I almost feel like he was a rental. I hope he does stay though. I've liked him, and then people are saying, oh, most likely Gilbert's going to be gone, like to get a bat. Well, no, we have a good pitching staff. Like, I don't understand this team's like ability or this. Oh, I do understand they're all about pinching money and making money, but God, like show your fans for one time that's not the only thing you care about. Just for one time, show us.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. And Randy Rosarina is not a like unrestricted free agent or anything. He's like arbitration number 3 next year. So like, but I just know that a lot of Mariners, just from what I'm reading, is nobody knows who's actually going to be there. Like you said, a lot of
Yeah.
people say, well, they don't want to pay the whole pitching staff, so maybe one of the young guys like Logan Gilbert will get traded to avoid having to pay him on top of having to pay Cal on top of paying this guy. So it is hard to evaluate what's going to happen next year, and that was my whole point of the
Yeah.
uh, coaching staff comment where I was like, well, does it really matter if we got hot this year and missed the playoffs? No, but to your point, I understand. It's way better feeling than we fired Scott Service and then we sucked even worse to end the season.
That's
Yeah,
more my point.
yeah, and blew some confidence. Like, oh, great, we did this for nothing. But I think the thing is right now, 2.5 games. It's extremely realistic. Tigers and Minnesota, Tigers and Twins, they each play today. So if they both lose today somehow, maybe we're 2 games out and we're ahead of the Tigers on that spot, and only 2 games behind the Twins. There's a realistic chance this happens. Now, the hard part is 3 against the Yankees. We got a few more against Texas and then 3 against the Houston Astros. The only way the Mariners make the playoffs is to stay hot. There's no
How many games
bad
did you tell
series
me we have
allowed.
left? How many games left?
I think 12.
12 games. We have to go 9-3.
Yeah, if not like 10-2.
Yeah. So like you have to be really hot. 9-3, 10-2. God, 8-4 could do it if the Twins collapsed.
Yeah,
They'd have to go
but
5-7.
then again, I mean, still, there's the Tigers are ahead of us or tied with us as well. So I mean, we lost to them. I think they have the tiebreaker with us. So at the end of the day, it's multiple. I feel like at the end of the day, I am scoreboard watching, but it's not just about what it's not about like what other teams do. It's really about what the Mariners do. Like if they
Exactly.
have to be a 9, and you you have to find a way to take 2 out of 3 against the Yankees, sweep Texas, take 2 out of 3 against Houston, and then like sweep Oakland, right? Like
Exactly.
10-2. That's the only real hope. And it's going to be fun though. They're riding the hot jerseys, the City
10-2.
Connects.
The
But
problem of 10-2, like now that you said that, is like that means the Twins, if they go 8-4 or better, are in. Like wow, like we really have a lot of ground to make up.
yeah, and unless there's also the other option that Astros lose a game or 2 this week and we
We
stay
sweep them.
winning and then you sweep them, which once again, Mariners, like, their playoff chances, according to ESPN's 8.2. It went up from 7.1, I think, which earlier this weekend to 8.2. It still requires like so much, like you said. It's going to require the Astros to be like a below 500 team while we go 9-3,
Right.
right? Or 9-2 or whatever it is. So there's a very small chance, but it's very real now that there's actually a possibility, which I would say a few days ago it didn't feel like. And even Thursday night when the Rangers beat the Mariners, you thought, okay, this might be the end of it. And then they won 3 straight and kind of made up for it. But it's exciting to see. I think they've definitely reeled us back in. It's fair to say.
Oh, they've reeled me back in for sure. Like I've kept saying I'm not going to get reeled back in, and here I am, reeled right back into where I was a couple weeks ago. And then this team is definitely a frustrating team. I think this would be the most like I think you said like the first Mariners team to make the playoffs has no like good vibes surrounded by it. Like it's like a very frustrating way to look at it, but it's the truth.
Yeah. Or at least no good season vibes, right? Like I feel
Yeah.
like these last couple days, there's been some good vibes. Like we're about to wear the City Connect 4 in a row. Randy Arozarena starting to play well. Julio had 2 huge home runs. They snuck in 2 wins and then had a big blowout win yesterday. And the vibes, like everyone seems happier, but like the season's vibes, a fired manager, people like wanting Jerry DePoto lose his job. Like notable Mariners accounts, like even like people like Mariner Muse and a friend of the show, like literally tweeting on like Thursday, like send updates about the game, like not even wanting to tune in. Like people were like, we're done with this Mariner season, right? And then they're like, but we're kind of might make the playoffs. So they reeled us in bad, like, and the vibes have been very bad for a team that's 2 games out.
Yep. Very, very bad for 2 games out. But hey, hopefully we make it. Maybe, salvages everything because once you get in baseball, if you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. You can win a series. You can go on a run. You can, with this pitching staff, do some really good things. So, like, part of you wants to like get excited, but the other part of you is like, all right, just let this ride out and see what happens.
Yeah, I think this week's going to tell us everything, right?
Mm.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday against the New York Yankees. If you win 2 out of 3 against the Yankees, you feel pretty okay. You
Yep.
know, they took 3 out of 4 against Texas, and you take 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. Now maybe we got to go sweep the Rangers, which is possible. We just beat them 3 straight. If you lose 2 out of 3 to the Yankees, we're talking about season's pretty much over because well, if we lose 2 out of 3, George, we're looking at what, like needing to go 8-1 the rest of the way, or like 8-0.
Yeah. You have to win 8
So
straight, probably.
yeah, so at the end of the day, or I guess it'd be 9 straight, right? 3 against the Yankees. You have 12 left. So
Yeah.
we'd have to go, like, if we lost 2 out of 3 to the Yankees, we're talking about a team that needs to go 9-0 or like 8-1 to make the playoffs. So I think that's gonna be our true teller. These next 3 days is going to tell you a lot about if there's a point of watching the Mariners Astros series next week or if there's not.
Well, hopefully there is a big reason to watch, and that's because we have a chance to go out and somehow win the AL West
Or the wild card. I don't even care if we win
or
the
wild
West,
card.
bro.
Well, I just want to win I'd rather win the division, but if we don't, that's fine too. I want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean the division is 4.5. That's pretty hefty.
But no, it is. But I feel like if we're gonna have an opportunity to get the wild card, we're gonna also have an opportunity to win the AL West because it's gonna take an absurd record, and we have games against the Astros, so we're probably gonna have to sweep the Astros, or to like maybe not sweep, but go. Is it 3 game set or 4?
3.
3. But like I just said we have
We're
to go
gonna
10
have
and
to sweep
2.
them. If you don't sweep them, there's a 0% chance you win the division.
No, I'm talking about if we don't sweep them, we still might have no chance to even make the wild card. So, but if you sweep them now, you have a chance to win the division. Like, really, we have no room for error. And I'm not saying we can't do it, but it's going to take a 10-2.
Yeah, this is gonna be crazy. And don't forget 10. It's gonna have to be like 10-2 after we just won 3 in a row. So like we're talking about like a 13-2 run.
Yep, 13-2 run to make the playoffs, and even if we do that, Sammy, it's not guaranteed we make the playoffs either.
I was just about to say, and then I think that's part 1. Part 2 is then what did everyone else do? Like,
Yes.
like we can't worry about what everyone else does if we're not winning. But like once we start winning, it's like, well, like today, if at San Diego, that's a good game. Maybe San Diego beats the Astros. All of a sudden, we're 4 games out. We win
Yep.
tomorrow. You're looking at a sweep if
Here
we
we
go
are.
play Houston. Now we're talking about a chance to take the division lead.
Right.
But Astros go win 2 more in a row, win 6 in a row. Division's out of question already. So it's a complicated situation right now in Seattle, per usual.
Per usual. That's the best way
They
to put
reeled
it.
this
Per
back
usual.
in. Um, I did get a question from a friend today. Would you rather the Mariners make the playoffs but lose in the first round, just like losing the wild card 2 straight and it's over, or just miss the playoffs completely?
Very easy. Go make the playoffs, lose 2 straight, and get out of the wild card. At least get some extra playoff baseball. Never a bad thing to get playoff baseball under our belts.
So you're not one of the negative guys right now. There's a lot of people that just want the season to be over. So I'm just
No. God, if you making the playoffs means you finish the season red hot and made the playoffs. That's a good thing.
that's fair. Well, I don't know if my headphones just gave out, which they kind of did, but I know what you said. I think I'm back now. But at the end of the day, I would probably rather watch some playoff baseball as well because it's the playoffs. I mean,
That's how
might
I
as well
feel.
enjoy some playoff baseball.
100%. Go make the playoffs, Mariners.
Yeah, let's see. Well, you'll hear from us a lot this week in the next coming weeks if this run continues. Regardless, subscribe to the channel. We have Seahawks stuff, Husky stuff. We've been doing everything here on the Seattle ONTAP channel. Check out the Rebet app. We talked about it on our last spot more in depth, but it's legal in Washington State. So if you actually want to find a way to bet on player props or bet on game spreads and everything, use code ONTAP. I'm going to put it on the screen or in the link in the description where you want to go to. Rebet app can be used in Washington, legal in 46 or 47 states. We haven't decided yet. We didn't figure that out on the last episode, but they match you 100% up to $100. So if you put $10, you get 20. If you put 100, you get 200. So use code ONTAP or the link in the description. And go bet on the Mariners for tomorrow, which I might just to get some juice on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go put juice on it as well.
And why not? Well, George, you got anything else?
That's it, man. Go Mariners.
All right. Go Mariners. And we'll see you next time. You know what we like to say.
Thanks for stopping by.